Hello. I think it's really common when we have these conversations about redefining success to hear these cliches, right? That the richest people aren't necessarily the happiest, or that your overachieving productive friend might be living a life of burnout. And while it's true but easy to say that success does not lie within fame, money, or grades, that's not where the real story ends, but only where it begins. Redefining success is much more than just rejecting external benchmarks, but about redefining and rethinking how we define and pursue success, which will make the difference. Success has a positive connotation, right? It is something that brings us joy and pride and achievement. We want to share it with our loved ones. But instead, we find it doing the opposite. The way that we think about success now often leads us to anxiety, self-doubt, and comparison, the very things it's meant to lead us away from. And I think it's because the word success, in and of itself, has this sort of gold, sparkly ring of light around it, right? It's success, the best, the brightest. It's magical, a little bit unachievable. But is this true? Is it fair? It's a lot of pressure for one word. And most importantly, is it what we really want? Redefining success takes immense amounts of reflection, honesty, and authenticity. 3 characteristics that push us away from the generic definition of success and challenge us to build one that reflects our own morals and values. And that is what we're here to talk about today. Just that we're on the same page from this point on, success is officially defined as the accomplishment of an aim or purpose. And I want to break this down a little bit. Accomplishment, something that has been achieved, right? You set out to do something and you achieve it. Every accomplishment has an aim. The objective or goal, what are you striving for? And lastly, every aim is fueled by a purpose, the reason for which something is done, your intention. So stringing this together, we get a new definition, and it really is the same one, but a little bit more specific. Success, the achievement of an objective aligning with its intention. And we're going to come back to this in a moment, but first I want to show you how it can be useful. A few weeks ago, a friend came up to me in a moment of crisis. She had recently made a commitment, but it was just too much. The deadline was too soon, it was too much work, and since she wouldn't be offering anything groundbreaking or revolutionary, why her? Why even do it? So I asked her, why did you make this commitment? She told me that it was a really great opportunity to meet new people, to explore her interests, and something that she probably wouldn't get a chance to do again. Just by hearing those words, she understood that by realizing her commitment, she will have been successful. Her aim was to step out of her comfort zone, and her purpose was to show her abilities to herself. So where did this need for external validation to be the best, to be revolutionary, come from? How does any of that align with her aim or purpose? And you might be thinking, yes, this is great, I want this, to never have to worry about the pressures of being perfect ever again. How do I do that? How do you redefine success? I'm going to go back to one of those characteristics I mentioned earlier, reflection. Success is personal to everyone, whether it's lifelong or successfully reaching an objective. And because it's so personal, it can't be replicated by anyone but you. If we look at that definition that we built earlier, success is fueled by an intention, by a purpose, and that purpose is what's personal. So I want you to think about, what does success feel like to me? What is that purpose? And I want to clarify here, when I use the word purpose, I don't mean this existential question of why was I placed on this earth or what is my life's purpose? I mean something much simpler. What is it that brings me towards this positive success, and how is it reflected? For example, this can be adventure. Maybe your success comes from meeting new people and going to new places. Maybe it is the security of a plan and knowing what's going to come ahead, that organization. Maybe your success lies in building relationships with your loved ones, with your friends and family. When I think about this intent, I often think back to a quote. Now, this is from The Goldfinch, a novel by Donna Tartt, and it's a very great book, which I recommend to you all. But what I really took away from this is one phrase. It's not about outward appearances, but inward significance. And I think this really reflects what I'm trying to say. When you're thinking about your intention, about your purpose, it has to be something that aligns with you, right? Because if you're following these steps to reach the success, but none of that brings you any true significance, then how can that be successful? How can something negative be success? So I urge you all to choose one word which captures this intention for you. And it can either serve you for the whole year, for this full quarter, or maybe even just the remainder of the month. For example, my word is contentment. I aim to be content. And when I am at a crossroads or faced with a difficult decision, I keep this word in the forefront of my mind. How can I move forward in a way that will place my contentment as a priority? And every once in a while, and this is what leads me to my next step, action. Unfortunately, there is no secret routine or daily habit that I can give you that will bring about this perfect success. Instead, it's about the things that you do consistently, day in and day out. So, for example, if your success looked like that adventure, then signing up for a club or an activity in your city, right? It doesn't matter if you meet dozens of new friends or find the hobby of a lifetime. But just by placing that adventure at the forefront, you will have been successful. Or maybe it's that organization, and you should take some time every day to organize your life, your school life, your physical space. And regardless of if you make a to-do list that leads in a super productive day, you will have been successful by placing that organization first. And every once in a while, you'll be faced with these bigger decisions, right? And you'll be overcome with the fear of what is right, the deadlines, fear, regret, what should I do? And I don't mean to scare you, but I do think that those decisions have the chance to change our life if we give it to them. See, I don't believe that we're born with a roadmap to our life. I don't believe that there's a plan set out with benchmark after benchmark that you tick off and then you move on. Instead, I think that you make your decisions, and those decisions form your life. So if you have the power and you have the ability to make these decisions from a place of authenticity, then your success will be abundant. It'll go from being something that you strive for, and it's always just one step further, and you don't really enjoy doing any of that. But instead, it'll become part of who you are. Success is deeply personal. This generic idea of success has no basis since it is lacking this intention. So I ask you, what does success look like for you? And most importantly, does it feel right? Does it bring about this pride and this achievement, something that you want to share and continue doing? These gold sparkles that have been fabricated right in front of your eye have no basis. So instead, focus on the steady fulfillment of living in alignment with yourself. Thank you.